What's up, everybody? I'm Celeste with Keep the Momentum.
And I'm Hazy of In Good Company.
Thank you for coming back to KTM. This is going to be something different. Hazel and I, my sister, decided to fuse our brands together because we carry a very similar message. She's been the inspiration for a lot of the things that I'm interested in doing. And we just decided, why not? Sisters combine.
I want to drop a few gems on you before you get into this video that we have for you. We want to say thank you to Two-Face, thank you to Chris Lockett, and thank you to Big Zeke for even doing the video. I feel like the intention that you guys will get to see is going to be easily absorbed. You're going to get the reality of street life. You're going to get the reality of black men. You're going to get the reality of lost hope. But having a save in spirituality and things of that nature. And so I take that deep breath because that's what it was. It was a breath of fresh air, and we hope the same for you all. We do have a few disclaimers because of the world we live in. You know, it's either hypersensitive or nobody's saying enough. So one is
homosexuality. We definitely want you guys to understand that the things that are said, it's not intentional in any way to offend you. It's everyone's opinion, their own separate opinions. So definitely want you guys to just know that it's not intentional.
And another one, language.
Yes.
This is America. Freedom of speech. And, you know, I feel like we all should be exclusive on how we're willing to express ourselves. So, you know, just be aware that if you are 18 and up, beautiful. If not, please know there's some explicit language, but all in respective manner.
Definitely. So, with that being said, thank you guys for tuning in, and please keep your ears open and enjoy all of this content. Thank you.
So my sister and I have the pleasure of interviewing three very prolific people in the Bay Area. At this time, we'll give them the platform to introduce themselves, who they are, what they do, and then some. Let's start with you, sir.
So Big Zeke, and producer, retired rapper, super retired trapper.
On to the next one.
Two-Face. I'm an ex-rapper, ex-felon. Yeah, ex a lot of shit. But in the meantime, right now I really just mess with the youth and fuck with art and different things like that. So that's pretty much it for me. Real East Oakland though.
Okay.
Chris Lockett, current rapper. I like to call myself a jewel thief, ex-prisoner of war. You know, all the good stuff, man. You know, I'm here for the people.
That's nice. And we thank you for letting us be in your studio today. Beautiful setup. I love it. So Hazel,
So we wanted to carry out with how do you all know each other? Should be the platform. And where are you all from? East Oakland. But
Yeah, East Oakland.
East Oakland.
Yeah, all East Oakland natives.
So all you guys grew up together?
We come together through way of the streets.
Okay.
You know, it formed a brotherhood and a bond that's forever though. You know, a lot of times you don't get that from the street. You know what I mean? We fortunate to get it. And these some good men right here. You know what I mean? So
Last of a dying breed. We just part of that era where it was a code. Indeed.
For sure.
that's crazy that you all say like a code and there's morals and ethics. And I kind of dabble with you all on social media. And I see a lot of stuff with hip hop, and the culture is just completely different from what I've been raised up with. Same, I'm sure. But how do you all feel about, like, I call it rap culture, and also like
What's that, rat?
Rat. Yeah, rat culture.
Dive right into it.
We have to.
I like this.
Yeah. And like just men wearing dresses, nail polish. Just how do you feel, especially being ex-rappers and current rappers?
My thing about it is that, you know, in our day, we really valued manhood. So to go even further than just the telling and all of the, you know, homosexual shit, like, we value manhood. Like, you know, being a man is like an honor from God. Like, you know what I mean? If you want to jump into the real specifics of it. But,
Let's do it.
like, you know, I mean, today it's not for me. I'm supposed to be 44 today. You feel me? Like, in these times, I'm supposed to be an older man. So all that little shit, the shit that they own, that's for them. It's not my world. So, you know, it bothered me, you know, how people with no loyalty, people telling and all the gay shit, all that. It bothers me, you know what I mean? But I had to realize, like what I just said, that I don't belong in that world. So let me stick to my world. You know what I mean? I don't know. I still, you know, manhood is something that I stress to the youngsters that I encounter and everything. I'm not going to ever change my views on it, but I'm not going to necessarily, like, force anybody to, you know.
Yeah, kind of like minding your own.
I mean, I work with a lot of kids, so I'm not going to act like I'm quiet about it, too. You know what I mean? As a man, I do have an obligation to represent, you know, but... You know, it's tricky times, you know.
Yeah, for sure.
I think for me personally, I think what fucks with me most about it is like we lost a lot of good men. We survived hella shit. You know what I mean? For it to be this way. You know what I mean? Like when you look back on it, like the three sitting right here, like we real survivors. Like we didn't been through it all, like for real, it's documented. And today it's like all that shit we went through, all the shit we survived, like we real life got PTSD out here.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And now it's like that shit that we did and what we survived don't even matter. It mattered to us, but like in the world right now, they don't even know. They mentalities can't, they don't even have nothing to stand on to even try to understand.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So for me personally, that's what it be. So when I talk to the youngsters now, I try to teach them about solidarity. Like that's what I preach to kids. Like, you know what I mean? You got your circle, you got what you're doing. Like stick to what you're doing. Focus on what you're doing. Like be successful in what you're doing. Because nobody gives a fuck. The world they living in, nobody gives a fuck. And that's crazy. We come from an era where the OGs gave a fuck.
Yeah.
We had rules and shit. Like we couldn't do certain shit. You know what I mean?
You couldn't get no crack
What?
at 14 years
What?
old.
Listen, you had to be a lookout before anything.
You can get dope pills and every whole bundle count instructions and everything at 11 now.
What? Off YouTube. That's crazy.
That is crazy.
Shit crazy.
Real swift.
Yeah, y'all just that's facts. I find it interesting because you guys are speaking about respect and how it's like totally different now. Like I think Hazel had a question that I want you to ask it because it kind of ties in.
Let me give my little input.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
You know, just looking at the board. Now, I play chess a lot, so I always use a reference called looking at the board. When I said I was a POW, you know, me and Face, we'd have been on the other side of the board. You know, the end count, when they waking you up in the morning and you can't do nothing and you're trapped in a little box. And, you know, looking at it, it's really an agenda. And the agenda is, like, with us as black people, the way we got right here, right now, the little bit we got right now was strength. And it seemed like the agenda is to take away the strength from us. Because you get a long way with strength. You know what I mean? And think of what I'm saying. I'm saying strength. I'm not saying violence. I'm saying strength. You know what I mean? And, you know, we had a lot of strength. put in us from our elders who endured all that madness. You know what I mean? So we can get here, we can be integrated and go to school, and they see what we can do under the extreme circumstances. They don't like that.
Exactly.
So they throw it's cool to be a snitch. It's cool to be a homosexual. I have nothing against homosexual people or anything, but it's cool to do that. It's cool to not listen to your parents. It's cool to be a dope fiend, try all these different drugs and go OD. It's cool for all the stuff that didn't make sense. You know what I mean? Because coming up, when we were young, you couldn't even wear pants too tight. You know what I mean? The neighborhood was on you. Like, hey, y'all couldn't do nothing till after y'all went to school, and you know what I mean? Even when we did get to sneak up on the corners to bust our little moves, people was, hey, y'all do your homework. That stuff don't even count no more, and I believe it was all the agenda. You know what I mean? To destroy the neighborhood. You give us these bad neighborhoods, we make the base of it, then you take them back from us. Then you displace us, you put us in these weird places, and it's all the agenda. That's all I can say.
Yeah. Kudos.
I mean, y'all don't know how hyped I am right now because you're touching on the meat of everything I feel like we wanted to tap into. So going into like black manhood and structure, we want to tap into family. What do you think? Well, first, how do you define family? And is it relative now? Like, do you see it actually possible to come into fruition with the state of the community, the state of families, broken homes, single mothers, single dads?
Question one more time. Here we go.
Whew, that's hard. That came off the dome. Hold on. So basically, you know how you're saying all this stuff, homosexuality, blase, is an agenda to, for me, I'll say it, emasculate the black man.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think having like family and structure is possible for us now?
Yes,
all the elements.
it's possible, but when we go back to that agenda, it's like they redefining the way we even interact with your loved ones. You know, with social media, like people ain't calling and checking up on their loved ones and popping up at grandma's house like they used to. People texting and DMing, so it's taken away from the interaction and the value of your word. Like nowadays, a person, you know, we convicts, you know what I mean? Even though Big Zeke probably ain't been on the other side, he still carry himself the same way. Our words mean everything to us. So if Big Zeke called me and asked me to do something and I commit to that, you know, I'm feeling like, you know, something bad gonna happen to me, you know, or if I can't do it, I gotta let him know immediately. But in the world we live in now with the social media and stuff, people don't care and they'll argue with you over and I just won't talk to you no more. I'm gonna block you, and I can't block. This is my brother. I can't block my brother. Like, you know, I don't care what we going through. The worst it get, I'm popping up. But yeah, we about to fight. You gonna give me a hug, and we go. You know what I mean? But you take the value and all that stuff up out of it, and people like, you know, I got 1,000 friends, so if I lose one friend that I've been around for 20 years, it don't mean nothing. People think these social media people is their friend. Because they liking and putting comments and supporting the negativity. You know what I mean? So you got to know the difference. And the bad part about it is everybody don't know the difference. So some people may think that all their friends and followers on social media love them and their family don't.
It's crazy what he's saying too about, you know, thinking that the followers love you and your family don't. Instant gratification is where we at right now.
Yes.
That, like, it's instant gratification. Like, nobody wants to do anything for anything.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? Like, you could go on social media right now and see somebody who you know ain't worth shit looking good on here, and you automatically assume, like, well, if he got it, for sure I could get it. Family is always important. Family is the first thing that you learn. I was talking yesterday to my grandmother, and we was talking about these young people and why it's so left with the youth. And what it really is nobody's really caring for these youngsters no more. Mm-hmm. See, love, you grow to learn love. Love it comes eventually. Babies don't know love. A toddler don't know love. They know to be cared for. They know what caring is.
Mm-hmm.
So these youngsters today, they haven't been founded on caring. So they take bits and pieces of whatever they feel is right from what they hear. Conversations go a long way. Conversations people have around kids, they sitting up there listening, thinking that's what it is. When the two motherfuckers you got kids listening to a conversation of two people who hate each other. What can a child or a young man or a woman take from a conversation of two people who hate each other? Because we living in a world full of fake people, and it's okay for fake to indulge in fake. In our era that we come from, like, you could not be fake. Like, you could not be fake.
Or you didn't want to be fake. It wasn't cool to be fake.
You can't.
Like, it's reversed. Like all the stuff we was raised up against and not to do is cool now.
Yeah.
So
That shit crazy.
Yeah, kids, you know, but success looks different. It's different for them. Like, they go on IG, whatever the fuck, social media, and they see motherfuckers throw drinks on each other, slap each other, say the worst shit you could say about a motherfucking mama, all kind of shit, then leave the club with the security holding them back and hop in the Rolls Royce and drive off. With hella diamonds on, all the Gucci, all the Louis, all the shit. So success looks different. Like, to us, that was ignorant. And we knew it was fake. And shit, your grandma, somebody slapped the shit out of you. Carry on like that, embarrassing them. You know what I mean? But to them, kids, that's success. Shit, they only been here 16 years. They only been here 17 years, 18 years, no offense. You feel me? But that's success to them. So when you see somebody talking different, and they might not be in the Rolls Royce or had a hella chains on and all the kind of shit, but they really making sense and saying certain shit, the kid get conflicted because you going against what I see. I see these dudes. I can see a dude come to the hood in a Ferrari, all kind of shit, shake everybody, and then all the dick riding make the kids think that that's love. They love me if I'm rich. You know what I mean? So then the kids go and get whacked trying to get like dude. Not knowing that dude, his twist and the way he really get his money is so different than what he promotes. You see what I'm saying? So it's just all confused. Like they were saying, like, we not caring for the kids, man. Like, and then have, you know, family as far as like man and woman coming together and creating a child, man. Motherfuckers is reckless producing. I'm a victim of it. Wait, oh, she bad, her titties big, she fine, whatever, we kick fuck, and then boom, 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 then it's a baby. I can't stand her though, but we got this baby, I love the baby, all the shit, get used to not seeing the baby every day, all kind of different shit happen, boom, you got another child, another human in the world, confused, that's black, and don't know their worth. You see what I'm saying? So then we, you know, and it's agenda too.
That is.
It's an agenda.
Yeah.
Like, you know, it's an agenda, like for real, because how can you control somebody that's thinking past just what they see on this earth? You know what I mean? You can't control them. So we need to control you people. So you know what? We'll fuck you up.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So, you know,
it's a key word he said, control too, because control is deeper than just what you thinking, because they want to control the way we eat, the way we think, the way we repopulate. We are not populating the way we used to when I was young and I grew up in a neighborhood with all black people. We're not populating like that. So you give a little thought of where we go be in the pecking order in a few tens, because, you know, I'm not trying to turn this into a racial thing or anything, but other races are populating and functioning. You know, especially the Hispanics, they still 12, 13 in one house, getting along, smiling, quinceañeras, and that's how we came up. That was us.
Yeah.
You know, about taking about 20, 30, 40 years back. That's how we came up. You know, enjoying just being outside playing with a stick and a ball. We so strong, and we can make the best of anything. And I think certain people on this earth don't like that.
Yeah.
They don't like that, and we're being poisoned from every angle, from the way we eat to the dynamics of the food selections we have in places where we're predominantly at, you know what I mean? And they just, you know, because how they say it, garbage in, garbage out. So if you poison our water supply, you poison our food supply. The music we listening to is poison. Social media poisonous. Like we're being attacked on all fronts, and some of us don't even know it.
But
You
we
get
forget,
to
we
talk,
forget it's a war, you know.
Right.
Like, that's the secret, you know. Keep that quiet.
Keep that quiet, yeah. Because Chinatown is not going through it, and you know, and I don't know the little other.
Mexico, ain't none of that going through.
No. They're flourishing.
Jingletown?
They're, you know, they doing their thing. Their money is hitting a few corners before it leave out the neighborhood. We still the only people who, soon as we get a dollar, it go to anybody but our own people.
Yeah, that's definitely something.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
I was gonna say like what you said about how Mexicans, like they keep it in the family. Like it's 13 of them staying in the house, and once somebody gets enough to like be able to buy their own house, then it goes like that through the ladder. I was talking to my friend about that, how black people, we don't do that. Like we feel like we gotta have everything right now, like you said, the instant gratification. Like when I turn 18, I gotta be out the house. I gotta have this. Like, and I feel like a lot of times that's why I feel like I'm not doing good, because I'm 26 and I'm still at home, you know. But I feel like in order for me to grow and become, you know, an adult, I gotta sit back and we gotta help each other as a community.
Well, you learn from the process.
Yeah.
There's a process to growth.
Yeah.
It doesn't come overnight. You know what I mean? Like when you go get a job, you know what I mean? You get somebody that when you first get that job, you're on a probationary period because you're working with somebody who has all the experience and skill. Your job is not to work hard, it's to pick up and learn everything that you can from this person. So when you pass that, you learn more and more, and that's how you get growth. They call them raises and things like that. That's what you work for. In life, especially in the black community, it took a village to raise a child. You understand what I'm saying? I really come from the era where I couldn't cuss around the corner. I'll still get my ass whooped.
yeah,
You understand what I'm saying? So it was progress. So being in the house, it's called being raised. You know, like with my kids, I tell them, like, once you step outside of my door, like once you say, hey, Dad, like I'm ready to commit and be my own, then from that moment you've been raised. You understand what I'm saying? You know what I mean? You came up under your cousins, then your bigger brothers, then your uncles. Like you didn't just go be with your uncles immediately. It didn't work that way. That's just what we got to get back to. Being black is a powerful state. Like our melanin, the way we carry, the whole world revolves around us.
Seriously.
I think like to go off of what both of them saying, like see with the agenda and then what he just said, we forget though too that we've been here for a minute, so that it takes a village to raise a child. All that comes from our culture, our original culture, right? America strips your culture. Yeah. So like all of the other people that's coming here now and setting up shop, they strong now like we was in the 60s and 70s. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like my grandparents owned 3 houses. Everybody grandparents own their house. Right. You know what I mean? So like, but America takes your culture, which you originally come from, and give you the American culture, right? And as the older people pass away and the new kids come, they have, like a lot of black people today are Americans.
Yeah.
So that's why we are. So just like a lot of Latinos and a lot of like Asian people, they're going to become Americans. So it strips the structure from what you know, your heritage and all that kind of shit. It strips it.
The culture is gone.
So I agree with what you're saying, but the only difference between like some other races is they keep that connection to that old world, what we lost. Like we have no connection to the motherland.
Yeah.
So that kind of stopped some of them from becoming full American because they know what their people going through in that third world country they come from, so they work hard and they still, you know what I mean? Yeah. And when some of them make it over here, they take it real serious. You know, this is kind of like all we know in the slave history and stuff like that. So, you know, like for us it's just different with us losing that connection. you know, we would be much different and much stronger if we would have got to keep that connection to our, you know, motherland.
I agree with that because we probably the only race that's prisoners of war.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we descend from that.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So like, yeah, you know. And then now, you know, you talk with some Africans, they don't like us.
Yeah, they don't.
Certain ones from certain tribes, you know what I mean? They don't like us or whatever. But I mean, you know, it is what it is, man. You know.
With that, for all of you really, what led you into the street life? Because what I'm getting is like you had a good infrastructure. Like you had maybe the praying grandmother, the influential males, whether it be on the streets or in the home. So what was the segue that kind of...
Just being a product of where you come from.
Yeah. One day we was playing
Tag,
tag and throwing the football and shit. The next day, we was selling something, getting a few dollars to go to the movies. You know, my thing is I didn't have to jump in it like that. Like we wasn't starving. My grandparents, like I said, they fed us in there. I mean, I wasn't raised by my mother and my father, but I was raised by my grandparents. You know what I mean? But I came outside every day. I fought everybody. I ran with everybody, fixed bikes, stole bikes, did all the shit, right? And it was like the neighborhood changed one day. Like, you know, I'm not gonna be the only dude at trying to go to the mall, go to the movies, and I just got the $5 my grandparents gave me. These other niggas got 100. Like, you know, and shit, I done slapped the shit out of some of these niggas. Like, what? I'm over here too. Like, so what y'all doing? What? How you get it? Big bro gave you that? Well, how you know? And I mean, it turned, not knowing, it turned into what these kids call now the trap. We didn't call it a trap because we didn't know it was a trap.
Yeah.
You feel me? Like,
it was too good to be true.
Yeah.
You know, and the streets was totally different for when most of us, you know, got off the porch, and it was a nice window opportunity, but you also knew things like possibly 10 years in the system and stuff like that to come with it. But if you just stuck to the basis, you could have came up on a nice house or some nice stuff, you know what I mean, hustling. And I know some people who hustled all their life and never got in trouble, but they stood in that certain lane like, this is all I'm going to do. I'm going to deal with this weed. I'm not going to do nothing else. I'm not picking up no gun. I'm not hanging with the killers. I'm just going to sell this little... And certain people who stuck to them certain fields, they, you know, don't have a record to this day. I know a few people like that. But then you had some people that looked at the hood like a tribe or a village, and, you know, they went to the extreme. And you know what I mean? But when you look at it, you go enlist in something, whether you know it or not. You know what I mean? You're going to throw your life into your work. You'll throw your life into the military, into your religion. You're going to enlist in something, whether you know it or not. And, you know, the hood was there for some of us, you know, because we got to think the crack was unleashed on us. So coming up, you know, when some of us, you know, no disrespect to nobody, when some of our parents or grandparents were missing, the streets raised us. And they instilled some good stuff in me, because for me, you know what I mean, if the streets wasn't the way it was back then, if it was like now, I don't know, I'd be lost, you know, or somewhere just, I don't know, I wouldn't be the same man I am, you know what I mean, because in a way the streets was making men of you, you know, when you had no other options, and even when you was going through the jail system and stuff, it was making men of you. You was running, I done ran into a lot of great, intelligent men that educated me. You know what I mean? Like, well, I'm in jail, and what they got you in here for, and won't read this, and next thing you know, I'm illegally in jail. And I'm going to court telling my lawyer what to tell the judge so I can get out. So, you know, different effects on different people. But, you know,
I think, and like, let me say this, like what you were saying about, like, being in the street, how, like, you had the dude that he just sold his little weed and stayed in his lane. But another thing that people fail to, what they don't really fail to realize, like even with us, you know, it's just like hoop or anything else, football. You know, you have players, and they're good players, and they make good money. And then you have extreme athletes. You got to understand, like, when we jumped off the porch, it it was some people that stayed in their lane and did a lot of things, but it was certain of us, we were extreme athletes in the street. So a lot of the shit that we picked up, we didn't just stick to that regular shit. Like, we was like, oh, we could get money this way. Okay, well, I need more money. Like, you know what? I want me a drop cool on things and Vogues. Like, what I got to do to get that? And you start pecking that shit that you don't know. Well, what they say, you really ain't got no business.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? And then next thing you know, you hustle. Now you're getting a little more money because you didn't figure it out a way because your brain is a little better than the niggas you running with already. And so now the OGs take a liking to you. So then they start pulling you in. Lo and behold, our era, they was lacing us though.
Yes.
But we didn't understand what came with the lacing. See, we only saw money and what we wanted. We didn't know that it came with snakes and then in every we have genres. It's just like music. R&B, pop, hip hop. In the streets, you got genres. You got hustlers. You got killers. You got pimps. You got players. You got robbers. You got jackers.
You got
rats. You got scammers. You got rats. You understand what I'm saying?
You got evil people. You got people with black horse who've been messed over, and they ain't gonna give you no good information. You know what I mean? And some, not to cut nobody off, what he was just saying, like some of us, like I know this man, so he's a protector. I'm a protector. So if we got friends that ain't strong as we are, we're not gonna let nothing happen to them. You know what I mean? If somebody gotta go do something we can't talk about, and I know you not fit to do it, and he not fit to do it, come on, we gone. And it ain't nothing to talk about, but this the way we was raised, and what went on in the streets was left in the streets. And if you wasn't in the streets, then it wouldn't happen to you. So it wasn't like none of this stuff was happening to no innocent bystanders. We weren't going outside to snatch purses or bother the people that was at church. We were living the street life. And when we got caught, we knew what came. We knew what we was doing. The police was our enemy. I'm not talking to you. You know, you grab me, I'm clamming up. You know what I mean? My ID and my wallet, nigga, you got all the information you need. Hurry up and get me to a cell. That was it. That's how it used to be. You know what I mean? And it was good and it was bad to it. I'm not trying to glorify the street life, but I wouldn't have survived without that training. Yeah. You know what I mean? I would have been a statistic. Guaranteed. I would have been a statistic.
And even with ratting now, you know, that people today don't understand what that is or what that means. You know, we came from an era of me and this man right here. We come from it, right? So the people in our circle that come from it, there's rules, right? Nigga, you don't say nothing, period. I don't give a fuck. When they ask you, you ain't got it. Man, listen, you figure it out. But we understood, if you in these streets playing, if it don't go your way, you know what I mean, and shit fall on you, you do something about it or you get the fuck on. You don't open your mouth. Nowadays, everybody telling. See, people didn't understand. If you in the street, you ain't telling. If Miss Walters, you know, they get to shooting or something and shoot her house up or come in her house, Miss Walters, she go telling the police she ain't no rat. She a civilian. She's a witness. You know, it was just, we had structure and rules. Nowadays, everybody is just talk. Really what it is it's too much conversation. We came from the era where you shut the fuck up and keep it. We got whoopings in the household. You couldn't talk. Shut your ass up.
You got whooped for being in grown folks' face. We didn't understand that.
Yeah.
But I understand it now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're the only kid in this room full of somebody about to get in your ass.
Yeah.
ASAP. So you'll know your place. Know that I'm not meant to be in here listening to this grown folks talk. You know what I mean?
Because I don't understand it.
I'm not ready for it. I might go somewhere and repeat something that I'm not supposed to be saying at the wrong time.
Mm-hmm. I think that snitching always been there though. It brought down people, the biggest people to the smallest people. So it's part of the game.
It is.
My thing is like with the streets, like, cause I'm one of the ones, and I think V2, I think it's like 2 other cats in our circle that's not felons, right? I mean, I ain't gonna say we was doing all of the same shit. So it ain't like, oh, nobody's smarter than nobody. I think that for me, I just couldn't commit. I had problems committing to a bitch, committing to the street, anything. It's like if I committed to the street, I felt like it's like me living with a broad and I'm driving her car in her house. She get an attitude with me. She can shut it down on me. You feel me?
Yeah.
So I just couldn't commit to it like that. So like I do my dirt, I do my thing and everything, but then I cut. I go do something else. I try to do several different things, and I think that's why some of the older cats started liking me with different shit. You know, we had to steal cars to jump in the game. I mean, it was all kind of shit, but I think that we have, our circle is a brotherhood. We not, like V always say, we not street niggas, right? Street niggas do whatever to do whatever. So they'll tell, they'll steal, they'll kill you, they do whatever. That's the type of nigga they are. We use the streets for business opportunities and shit, but we have a moral brotherhood. I'm not going to say nothing I'm going to do what I have to do. Y'all look after my kids because we have a brotherhood. I'm going to sit in there and do my thing. That's how we feel. But everybody don't have that brotherhood. Some niggas are street niggas, right? So you have to expect that. I mean, if the biggest niggas who sold the most got taken down from an informant, then what makes you think, you know, it won't be? It's been there. You know what I mean? That's me. That's why I said I'm retired. I learned, you know, I'm like, what are you saying? Like, okay, Coke is doing this, well, let me sell weed because it ain't giving this one. Okay, weed, they tripping now on weed. Okay, well, let me do this. Well, let me do. I just kept moving, you know, until eventually I just said I got to move out. You know what I mean? Because, like, right now, you couldn't even jump in the street. You'll be fighting so many murders before you even reach 200,000.
Yeah, you ain't gonna even see it.
You ain't gonna even because everybody, it's just, I'm an older man in a different time, though. I come from it, I understand it, I don't pass judgment anybody. I tell a youngster the truth. They see the diamonds and the rollie and all the shit from it or whatever, but I tell them the other shit too. You know what I mean? And you make a decision. But it is what it is. Yeah. You know what I mean?
I think we above and beyond blessed though, right? Like, it go back to what I was saying about being all-stars. You know what I mean? Like, we was prayed for by our grandparents, right? And our parents. And then it was other people that we met along the way. Great men and great women that prayed over us as well. But it was the information. Knowledge is success. We got knowledge. You know, we knew better. And we were, you know, now we live in a world where people don't talk to you, they talk at you. You know, our grandparents talk down to you. So, but our grandparents, they spoke to us and they spoke volumes through us, right? So, and like I was saying, we more like all-stars. So the ones who make it out and like us, you know what I mean? It took our meetings because steel sharpens steel, period. So it's been times where me and him, we done, man, listen, we understand. This is my big brother right here. We understand. It's been times when he been like, But see, real men, we could check each other and talk to each other because it's respect there. Today, two youngsters, if a youngster see another youngster about to do something and he tell him, they at war. He probably gonna shoot him, bro. He trying to save your life. Sometimes you gotta know when somebody trying to help you and when they trying to send you on a kamikaze mission. That's what we have and what we understand. And that's why we're men. See, that's when you grow into manhood that way. You know what I mean? Like, to have understanding. I don't know, it took a lot for us to get here. But once you get there and you have an understanding, it's your due diligence to give it back. Whether they receive it or not, you have to continue to give it back. My kids asked me one time, every time, you know, you get off the freeway or you pull up to the light, the man always be standing there. I always give money to the man. And my kids be like, we get off at the house, right? It'd be the same man off the freeway. And they'd be like, why you always giving the same man money? And I had to get them to understand my job is to do what God tell me to do. My job is to give the money. God, it ain't your place to determine who gets the blessing. Your job is to bless.
Because we in the same boat. I've had that conversation with my mother before she passed. Because, like, people be like, well, I'll give it to him. I'm going to give it to him. And they're like, why? I said, I'm in the same boat. Every day I get on my knees and then I'm asking God. I'm the same dude with a sign asking for to bless me or protection or look out for me or whatever I'm doing. Just, you know, I'm the same dude. So, like, my shit can change, too. So I got a few dollars, and this is how I kind of, like, show my appreciation for the dollars that I make. Like, here you go, bruh. well, it's $2, $3, $5, $10, whatever it is. But you know, I mean, if he get high on it, that's his business. That's him and God business.
Right.
That's on him.
I did what I was supposed to
I
do.
did what
through
I was
God.
supposed to do.
Every time I see one of them people, I immediately think about the times when you didn't know how you was gonna make a way, but you made a way anyway. So that's why I go just dig in the pocket, because it's too many times where it was a deadline for this and I didn't have it, but right before that deadline kicked in, everything fell in order. You know what I mean? So I don't question, and I try to pass that on to my kids. Have faith and don't turn your nose up on nobody. Don't think you better than nobody. You know what I mean? If you can help somebody, help them, and don't expect nothing from it. You know what I mean? Just push.
And respect game, respect life, respect people, because on your way to the top, we all have our time. We all have our time where we make it. Whether how no, but you can't cross game. You can't treat nobody like they ain't shit, because the same people you pass on the way up, you got to pass on the way down.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? And that walk of shame ain't no joke. I've been there, and not doing better than any Mr. One.
I'm listening like this.
Yeah, that's the one right here. You feel what I'm saying? But so you just, I don't know, like, be thorough, be solid, be consistent. Love, especially on your family. You know, I tell my kids, family come. I tell the youngest ones, family first. You know what I mean? And you got shady family members and all type of shit, but it's for you to grow older and have an understanding. You cut your family off when you grow older and have an understanding.
Yeah.
It's not your job to be like, well, I don't like them. I don't give a fuck. You a child.
See, I'm even different with that. Like, I had commitment problems, I swear.
Let's
Because,
talk
like, I
about
got
that.
kids. I mean, I got family, and I got a lot of scandalous family. I love them, and when I see them, I'm happy to see them. But I made my family, too. Like, these dudes is my brothers. Like, for real. Like not just, oh, because it's cool to say, bro, or bruh. Not because it's cool to say. No, if they need me, whatever. Right? Like, they need me. Like, it's the same shit, you know. So I couldn't even just commit to the blood thing, because y'all run me to the motherfucking grave.
Yeah.
You feel me?
You learn that later, though.
Yeah.
But yeah,
It's a process to learn to understand that you ain't shit. You know, you get what I'm saying? A lot of times people are like, you ain't shit, that ain't shit, that ain't shit. Then you have a kid like, that ain't shit. And in actuality, that's the one person out of the family that can help you, because you are an introvert. And they're an introvert. You get what I'm saying? So, you know, we get away from the teachings when we was young. It was just hella shit we couldn't do. Like, we got our ass beat for everything. You know what I mean? Like seriously, I be telling my mama sometimes, like, man, I was in an abusive relationship. You know what I mean? But it kept I was, like, look at what I became and what I done and who I am today. And that's from all the ass whoopings. Picture if I didn't get none of them.
Yeah.
I would have been a motherfucking minister. I probably would have been on the news or something. So everything, and another thing we have to realize too, everything counts. Everything that you do counts.
For sure.
Your fuck up, not just the good shit you do and people praise you for it, then fuck ups count too.
Oh yeah.
That's your learning process. You know what? My main thing that I tell all my kids and what they grow up to learn is, without struggle, you get no progress. I can't respect me and this man. We've been in some deep, dark places. You think if somebody walk in here trying to talk that talk, we gonna understand if you've been there or not. We really been there. You feel what I'm saying? If you're not a mechanic, you can't go talk to no mechanic. He gonna know, like, boy, get your ass up out of here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you know, it was walks of life. And back to what I was saying about where we come from. Gangsters knew gangsters. Players knew players. Killers knew killers. It's just how it was. I don't care if you was from West Oakland. I don't care if you was from San Ho. If we been down before, we know where they at in every city. It's just how it go. So, I mean, you know, I don't know, these youngsters, man, that gotta be our focus, right?
That's where it starts.
They recognize it when it's real. It just gotta be authentic and real. Like, any one of these dudes can talk to the hardest youngster. He gon' see it. Like, so I ain't gonna shit on them like all the way like they don't. It's just too many. All the leaders have been killed or incarcerated or just got old and like, man, I got to get out and got to think about me now. It's my time in my life to think about me and my immediate. But a lot of youngsters recognize it. I fuck with a lot of youngsters that's like really active right now, and they recognize it. I
Are they
saved a
applying
lot of
it,
little
though?
niggas' lives.
Sorry to cut you off. Are they applying it though?
As best as they can.
As best, I mean, they applying it to where like it's not going to change whatever I say or whatever anybody say to them. It can't change overnight, right? But that's not the goal. The goal is to start making them feel convicted about doing something that they shouldn't be doing, to where it's in the back of their mind, to where they can start working on it. Because I mean, at the end of the day, it's still the same circumstances outside, and some niggas didn't cross the line a little too far. Like, if you didn't knock somebody down, then your karma is already created for you. So you got to pay that debt however you're going to pay it, right? So it's like, you know, but the thing is to start to change to be better people, to be men.
That's the key word. It be like, I be looking at the board, a lot of people talk about how bad the youngsters is, and we were part of that process with good people like us that would have been around to water the grass and nurture them. They was taking us off the field. Again, a part of the agenda. They probe, you know, we want the warriors out the way. If we could get the warriors out the way, not only are we eliminating a strong fight, but these are the people that can teach these youngsters how to fight. So we take out the teachers, the Mr. Miyagi's, there's no Danielsons. There'll be no heroes.
Exactly.
There'll be the madness of what they got in the street. You know what I mean? So you can't even really fault the youngsters because they're being raised by social media. Like, you know, we were products of our environment. Social media is some of their environments. They adore and they worship rats and don't even know they're a rat, or don't even know the difference between somebody who's slate clean or somebody is dirty, because you got this dude that's been through it and he tapped out, he done with the streets, but he's not looking flashy. He's looking regular. And then you got this flashy dude that's claiming to be everything he is, but he's nothing. He's no good. But they're going to go with the flashy picture and be looking down on bro like, oh, OG don't know nothing, but OG is the one that can really save your life. Because bro, with all that flashy stuff ain't been nowhere. And when he gets in trouble, he's going to do the weirdest stuff. He going to blame it on you, and you ain't going to know it. He going to tell you, don't talk to the police, while he going to tell them everything. So you're going to be thinking that your man's solid, but he just put the nail in your coffin from the back of the police car. And that's the kind of games that they play now. They take advantage of the youngsters' lack of knowing. You know?
A lot of them same niggas couldn't come outside with us, though.
They wasn't outside.
Or
We
they
don't
didn't
even
walk
know
the
them.
yard with us when we
None.
was down, cause
None of
they,
that.
you know, or nothing. We know who was there, man. About 1,000, 2,000 people, convicts, California finest, the most dangerous people, and we all together, and different races and race riots and all that. And you gotta wake up and come outside to that. Every day, you got to make the best of it. You got to maintain your sanity. You got to do your prayers and hope your people on the street is you know, in the best. Because we going to survive. You know what I mean? We ain't worried about nothing, but we're worried about the condition of our families. We don't want them to be worrying or nothing. You know what I mean? But, you know, like, whatever don't kill you make you stronger. And after bumping our heads so many times, you learn how to think out the box. Okay, they waiting for me to come home and go trap again. I'm not trapping. I'm getting me a job this time. If I could work in this kitchen for 7 cents an hour, I could work for McDonald's or Burger King to save me enough money to start my own business. Not to be a slave, but a stepping stone. Or, you know what I mean? Instead of pimping, let me find me a woman to share the same vision I got, and we go work together to come up. So you learn how, I know they want me to do this, I'm not doing this no more, because I'm just sending they kids to college and they grandbabies to college. They put 2 guards in 1,000 men, what, 1,005, no, about 300 men in a dorm, 2 guards to watch them. They paying these people top dollar to babysitters. They don't care. And if a riot kick off, they are told to run out and lock the doors. Run out and lock the door till they get enough manpower to come in. So you got 300 cattle locked in the gym fighting and stabbing each other while they running around. Like, you know, it's
It's crazy.
It's a system, and you know, some of us was at the bottom of the barrel until we learned how to realize that we were too valuable to be playing that game, that our kids and their friends and the ones that want to listen really need us, because it's not people like that around. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's one for sure, son.
As survivalists,
Yeah,
the spiritual foundation, I'm sure, was key to the success. And
Definitely.
most definitely.
continue. What was it though? Like, how did you maintain that? Because you're painting the picture of prison, and it's not something. At least I know I wouldn't be capable of.
Right.
Like,
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
But it's like I've never been in that, like, even around people, to hear the stories like that. So it's like, how do you go from all of that to coming out here and maintaining sanity, like you said? Like,
To be honest, it's easy. And I'll tell you why. The transition, like you say, how do you maintain spirituality in those places? What is, if you had to talk to every single person who found God, where did they find it? In their darkest place on their knees. You understand what I'm saying? So for us being in them walls, it's easy to put God first. You understand what I'm saying? Because I understand that my person have to survive. I'm by myself right now, but I need somebody. And my granny and my mom and them told me when I had to go to church, I know God. You know God. And all you got to do is call them. They teach you that in church. Like all those little sayings, that's what you keep with you. The sayings. I don't know the Bible. I can't quote shit. But I know what I need to call on it. You understand what I'm saying? Like, be mindful of things. Operate this way. Karma. Understand. Everything reverse and come back. You know this. And then you learn, from the shit that you've done coming up, it's a code of honor. Sergeants and them, they wear them stripes and shit. We got stripes. So, a lot of what I done got to hold me in this motherfucker as well. Get what I'm saying? So, the people who really suffer the most behind them prison walls be the dudes that was living reckless and not even from what they was doing or what they done got caught up in. Them the ones who have a hard time in there. You understand what I'm saying? Because you don't have nothing to stand on while you're there. You feel what I'm saying? So our manhood is what keeps us solid. What we done keeps us relevant. God helps us to keep our sanity.
Definitely.
My thing is, like, I've never been convicted. So to be like, when they tell me all this stuff, and I talk to them while they was in there, all the shit, when they tell me all the shit, I told them I'd die the first week in that motherfucker, because the rules I can't commit to them. Right? But the thing is, I found God from the darkness of being like so-called free, which you're really not, right? It's like, you be a certain type of individual, and then the snakes come out, and then you start hearing all the whispers about the harm that's supposed to be done to you. At the end of the day, you by yourself, and you gotta come outside. You gotta go live. You gotta survive, and you gotta make decisions on doing certain things. And at these dark times, nobody, Granny, my grandmother couldn't talk to me, help me. Pops couldn't tell me nothing. There was nothing. All it was, God, what do I do? And let's not act like Satan wasn't there either. It was just us three.
Yeah.
Every serious situation I've been through in life, where you add into your karma, deposit into your karma account, to where you just make it. It's dark. It's like being a man, but you got yourself in this. How you gonna get yourself out? and like, some things I didn't do right, some things I did do right, but God was always there. And I raised all my kids, buried one, like I've been through all of it, and God been there. That's what it's been. So that's where I find them. Not to say, they dark places they had dark places in these streets too, like, you know what I mean? But but prison is something that I'm thankful I didn't have to, like, I've been to jail 3 times or so, but not prison. You know what I mean? So I'm thankful I didn't have to, like, deal with that maybe, you know what I mean, or whatnot, because it opened up other opportunities today for me that I'm even kind of bringing them into. You feel me? But you find God through this walk, being a man. It ain't easy on no parts. You know what I mean? If you stand for something. You know what I mean? Like, you know.
That's the strongest thing that you have is God. You know, God is the strongest thing you have. And like, I had a conversation yesterday. We was talking about just like how bruh haven't been to prison. That don't change. See, a lot of that shit don't change nothing. You know, like back in our day, you know, you in the neighborhood, you got the cats that's in the street busting moves and doing hella shit. Then you got the one cat that's in the hood. He ain't with none of that shit. He go to school and do some more shit, but he thorough, he solid. He fuck with y'all every day, y'all shoot the shit, he smoke weed with, but he ain't with none of that shit. So it's like, you know, God has a way of working. See, if it was meant for everybody to be the same way, this shit'd be whack as fuck. It's meant for every trial and tribulation and for every walk of life. Because everybody, like I say, iron sharpen iron, steel sharpen steel. Everybody go through their walk of life. This is how we meet. This is how we become family. This is like, without him being who he is and walking where he is, we don't meet. If I don't meet him, then I don't meet his kids. And his son don't get the game from me on the flip side, because his daddy's sharp as fuck. But sometimes, you know how kids are. Your dad could be the sharpest motherfucker in the world, but you just need to hear it from somebody else. But then when you see that your daddy respect this man and then all your daddy friends, but they didn't grow up together, it changes the dynamics. So what that does is now we going through generations, given what we got. The world told us and told the people around, like, they ain't shit. What you doing talking to them? They bad people. But really, we the ones who make the world go round. If all of us right now just gave up and quit, the motherfucking world would stand still. You understand what I'm saying? So there's a whole lot to it. And the moral of the story is we make this. African Americans, black people, melanin, we make it. Without us, you have nothing. So we just got to get back to strength. We got to get back to like loving each other and being able to say, hey, I see some shit in you, man. It's time to bring that shit to the light. As opposed to looking and being like, oh, nah, man, fuck all that, man. We about to go. A motherfucker be, nowadays we live in a world where a motherfucker be telling you something solid, they be looking like, bro, this nigga sound hella stupid, bro. Come on, let's go get over here. Let's go do this stupid shit.
Let's go get on Brody, you know.
Yeah, shit crazy.
That's accountability. And I know we're running out of time for the first half, but if there was one principle, moral, value that you could add to the rule book of today to give to whoever, what would it be?
Ooh, that's spicy.
For me, it's old school and simple. Treat people how you want to be treated. Treat how you want to be treated. We can't throw stones. What the old people say, you can't throw
live
stones.
in a glass house and throw stones.
Exactly. Them is so basic and old school, but they so relevant.
Yeah, that's real. I think for me, it's just without struggle, you get no progress. It's okay to go through shit. Like, it's okay. It's okay for you to be you. Like, what you're going through is molding you into what you're going to become. Today may be hard, but tomorrow could be the best day of your life. You just got to survive through tonight. You get what I'm saying? Like, and that's it. If you could just hold on a little longer, the sun always shines in the morning.
Yeah, struggle build character. Build character.
I would say, it's very important to learn how to read energy, and that come with believing in yourself. It come with like your upbringing too, like the stuff that your mom and your grandparents, all the good people instilled with you, all the old school sayings. Like, it was just weird because I remember my mom used to always say stuff like, she had so many different sayings, but it was, let me see one of them. She had the sayings about keeping your drawers clean in case you get hit by a car. And she had so many I don't know why I can't think of, but when you get older, it all makes so much sense. And then she used to always tell me, like, I grew up in an era where your friends would come get you for school. I always had people coming to get me, and before I left out the house, she'd be like, Chris, everybody you think your friend ain't your friend. And I didn't know what that meant until, like, you know what I mean, really get older. So if you got them good people, like them fortune teller people around you that's been through stuff, listen to them and learn how to follow your gut sometime, because we got a lot of stuff in us. I don't know about no other race, but we got a lot of stuff in us to the point where you get ready to touch that door and it feel hot. It's on you if you still touch that door. You know what I mean? Or, you know what? I'm going to find an alternative exit and go out the back way. Or when you get that feeling, hey, it's time to take your ass home. You know what? I'm gone. And that'll make you feel no less of a man. Or maybe you missed a little action, but maybe it was meant for you to miss that action. You know what I mean? Because coming from the streets, we always see the worstest stuff happen to the innocent person. You know what I mean? The bullet always missed the killer and hit the baby or somebody who had nothing to do with nothing. So a lot of that just you gotta learn how to take yourself out the equation sometimes. Like, this ain't working for me, maybe I never go back over there again. Seem like the police always jacking me over here, maybe I'm gonna go out my way to avoid these people. And us, as black people, we gotta learn how to think like that sometime and not be, I'm going over here anyway, oh, I'm turned up. No, man, you turn up with your mind. Don't turn up with being a fool or falling into the trap, because it's harder for us to get out the trap than anybody else, you know.
Wow. You guys really dropped some heat on us. Like, I really appreciate all of it. Thank you so much. Well, thank you guys so much for tuning in. I know you guys are going to be ready for the part 2, so that'll be dropping soon after this. Thank you so much.
In good
As
company.
always.
Keep the momentum.
All right. Thank you.